Hey there, this is Bug Powder Dust. Thank you once again for joining me for another World of Tanks video. So after a short break of about 3 months or so, 2 months, playing War Thunder pretty much, and a little bit of Battlefield 3 because my finger's right on the pulse, I've decided to come back to World of Tanks as I'm missing it, and I see that patch 8.4 has come out and they've made some changes. Notably tank destroyers for the British, 3 new light tanks for the Germans, which replace the current light stroke scout tanks, the Luchs VK1602 and 2801. The Luchs is one of my favourite light tanks. I've had huge amounts of fun in it, played lots of games. Not really played that many games in it since they've changed it up to tier 4. They've also introduced a new gun, the 3cm I believe it is. Let's just go back, take a look here. Yes, it's the 5cm, my bad, gun, or is it the 3? No, it is the 3, that's right. Yeah, with a 95 pen. Not played that many games in the Luchs, but I don't know, moving it up to tier 4, I think I may have taken the fun out of it. So these are the 3 new tanks here. You've got the Panzer 1, Panzer 1C, and the Panzer 2G just above it. Not played the Panzer 2G. The Panzer 1 is alright, it's okay, a little bit slow for my tastes. The Panzer 1C I'm finding to be huge amounts of fun. I've not read much in the forums about it yet, but it does seem like quite a powerful tank. Let's take a closer look. Actually, let's just go back a screen. Let's just take a proper look at the tank. So Panzer 1, really cute, quite small, potentially about the same size as the Luchs, I would say. Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks slightly bigger, so you can see the profile of it. Just a little bit smaller than the Luchs. Luchs armour is 30-20-20 hull. The Panzer 1C is identical. In terms of turrets, the Luchs' turret has now been changed to 50-30-30, and so the 1C suffers in comparison, but it's a tier lower, so you kind of expect that. So the armour's really nothing to write home about, but in terms of the other tanks on the other tiers, it actually stands up pretty well. Now let's talk about other things. Speed limit, let's take a look at that. 79, that's excellent. The tank accelerates nicely and its top speed is really good. You do feel very nimble in the tank moving around the battlefield. The radio, yep, that's all good, and as with a lot of the German kit, you share it with a lot of the other tanks. So if you've gone up the German line a lot, which I have, spent probably most of my time in the German line, I'd say, most of that stuff will be unlocked already for you. So you got obviously the tracks. Now where it gets interesting is the gun, so let's expand that out. Let's take a look at the top 2 guns here. So you have a choice of the 2cm flak gun, which you'll see on the Panzer II already, which has got it's a basically 20mm flak cannon, 144 rate of fire, 39 pen, and 11 damage per hit. Accuracy is 0.45, slightly longer aiming time. Or you can go for the 7.92 Mauser. Now on first look you think, well, penetration is 6mm less, and let's face it, penetration, you know, is king. If it doesn't go through, it's not going to do any damage. The damage is lower, the accuracy is the same, aiming time is quicker, so you can bring your gun to bear and aim it quicker, and the weight is significantly less, which is great if you're in a light tank. Obviously the heavier you are, the slower you go, but the rate of fire is almost double that of the 2cm gun over here. So I thought, well, I'm going to go with the Mauser for now, and let's see what we can do, because that rate of fire is huge. So that was the gun that I chose to start off with. Okay, so let's take a quick look at this. Now this made me chuckle. You see that the ammo comes in chunks of 40. Okay, so that's cool. So if you wanted to use gold ammo, now this is the real measure of whether you are rich in real life. If you use gold ammo on this vehicle, look at this. If I just click that up by 1, at first look you think, oh, okay, it's 1 gold for a group of 40. No, it's actually 40 gold. So if you want to go with a full ammo load, 640 gold. Ouch. You're probably going to get through half to 2/3 of that in a game. So, if you think you are a very highly paid rock star stroke footballer, this is the measure. You spend a lot of gold, and yeah, you are pretty much. However, I'm just going with the bog standard 3 silver. Thank you very much. So, enough of my chat. Let's get on with the 1C. It is a huge amount of fun, I have to say, and what you're about to see is 3 games of varying different lengths. The first 2 are basically facing Tier 3 max, then Tier 4 max, and then the last one is a Tier 5 game. Now, Tier 5 games, you have to obviously be really careful because you're facing things like KVs, and so you've got to play it very carefully. So yeah, so let's get on with the game. Okay, here we go. This is Malinovka. This is my first ever game in the Panzer 1C. So I've no idea how the tank handles, what it feels like, and I've soon found out it's fast. Now normally what I do on this map is I just kind of sit here just momentarily, see where everyone else goes, maybe take a pot shot at any people silly enough to move across the centre of the field. As it turns out, this isn't happening, and we are incredibly light with tanks going up the hill in the top right hand corner of the minimap. So I decided to relocate, something I can do actually really easily. As you can see, it's picking up a hell of a lot of speed, 50 kilometers an hour already. Now when you're playing at this level, it can be fairly chaotic, I think. Normal tactics tend to go out the window because people at this level, obviously, are new to the game generally. So sometimes you find nobody has gone to the hill at all, but it turned out that in this game it was actually slightly different. So I'm hauling ass to try and catch up with the Panzer 3A just in front of me, so we don't engage the enemy one by one if there are any enemy up there. I've already asked him to wait up, but he either didn't see or didn't understand or just didn't want to. I've got a Cruiser 4 backing me up behind me, which is great. So I've not even fired the gun yet, and I know it says it's red for penetration, but I fire it anyway just to get a feel for the speed, the reload, etc. And at that range it's never going to penetrate, but my penetration indicator here shows green, so I'll take a pop at BT7. I mean, you can see that. That's astonishing rate of fire. That is absolutely astonishing. And it's not too bad at range either. Normally these auto-cannon stroke machine gun equipped tanks, they tend to fall off in penetration really badly. The Panzer II is a case in point, but this one's not too bad. The gun's got, as I mentioned earlier, 33mm of penetration, which means even if you face another 1C, you're not going to be penetrating all of the time. So you've got to pick your shots carefully. There's no way that you can aim with this gun. Its accuracy is 0.5, so you've got no chance of aiming for weak spots really. So the trick is get around the sides and the back. There's another 1C. Okay, so I know what I'm facing now. I need to get into cover. No, there is artillery on this map. Right, I'd rather stupidly pull back before I finish firing and shoot my own cover, which is a little bit silly. But I've done significant damage to him, and I've only got 8 hit points damage myself, which is good. So there's a second tank there, a BT7. Got to bear that in mind now. Driving over the building slightly throws my aim off initially on that first volley. Note to self, must do better. I decided to have a pop at the BT7 at this point, as the other ones are not threatening me, and that's good, timely. I'll try and move around to the side of him, because I think there is not another enemy tank there. I want to try and panic him as well. I'm going for his weak spot now, but it's not good enough really. Backing off the reload, and there's another enemy tank there which I hadn't seen. Panzer 2G, one of the new ones. The reload of about between 8 and 9 seconds is painfully long when you're in battle. using the building as cover, trying to make the most of it. They aren't pushing the advantage, fortunately. And I bounced a couple of shots there. Panzer 2G, a little bit experienced, we're playing a little bit of peekaboo. I'm really hoping that while we're playing peekaboo, the damaged 1C to the rear doesn't try and flank me. Now when you're playing this tank, the C button, which reloads your partially spent ammunition, is your best friend. Use it a lot. So I'm going to go and hunt this guy down. He's backing off down the hill. Going to try and finish him before he gets out of range and out of penetration of my guns. He's already orange, but the sheer weight of fire means that something goes through. Unfortunately, I get smacked by the T-82, which I was a bit disappointed of after all my hard work. And here we are in the next battle. It's Redshire, or Redshire. We start in the south, and it's a tier 4 game. So, unlike the other game, I've now got to have my wits firmly about me. I can't just rush around and take on everything I see. Some of those tier 4 tanks can actually punch rather large holes in me. So I decided I'm going to scout up to this bush and just passive scout just to start off with, until I see the lay of the land, see who's going where, who's doing what, are there any gaps that I can exploit. There's no artillery on the game, so it's one less thing that I can rush in and try and kill. So I wait for a while and let's see where everyone's going. So we're a bit light in the south, looks like we've got people going north, but as it turns out they're just camping on the hill. After a little bit I decided I'm going to push up and help up in the north. It's going to make use of the riverbed, but I hit it rather too hard. Still not used to the speed of this, and I damaged my own track, which is not the smartest thing to do. So using the cover of the riverbed, move up alongside a cruiser 4. I decide I need to get out of the riverbed. My crew's going to drown. I see a Panzer 1C on the left hand side, which I'm going to try and take out. Just need to make sure that he can't hit me. So we open fire at each other. Difference being I've got my front to him, he's got his side to me, so most of my shots are going through, most of his don't. I think I only take 17 damage, which is good. On the right hand side, the cruiser and the other Panzer 1C have made short work of the two enemies over that side. So given that half their team is pretty much dead now, decide to push up on the right. And what I aim to do is try and light up the rest of their tanks that are probably, majority of which are on the hill. So making use of my speed and the fact that I'm very small, they're going to have a hard time hitting me from the hill if they can indeed see me. My cruise skill is only about 76%, so I don't have the sixth sense indicator yet. You can see just how powerful this gun is when you unload the whole clip into the side of a tank. Wait out the reload. So I'm going to push onto the hill, try and do more spotting. Kind of fingers crossed that nothing's on the right hand side. As a Valentine AT, I can't see from this distance if he's pointing at me or if he's pointing away, so I'm going to try and get into that little crest there to shield myself from him. And I'll let the others do the hard work there. Okay, he's down. So I'm going to try and go for the T-15 there. Although lighting him up is good enough.
He's gone. Find another target. That's gotta hurt.
As you can see, the gun is devastating under the right circumstances. Just trying to hunt down this T-28 now, find out where he is. If you can get up the side of a tank and just unload your whole clip into him without a single one missing, it's devastatingly powerful. This is a T-28. I'll try and finish him. There we go, side on. Just unload the whole clip. He hits me, does 109 damage, but fortunately I've got enough of a hit point pool left to take that hit. Off we trot downhill towards the cap. Their last tank is in the south and he gets killed by our T-28, so we actually go on to win this battle. And as you can see from the victory screen, it's not too shabby. It's a decent amount of money for a tier 3 and 1766 experience. Did 421 damage and got 323 detected damage, so I think I did my job as a scout tank there, so that's pretty good. Tier 4 game. You can see got stuck in on the right hand side there and damaged or destroyed 5 tanks, so that was actually pretty reasonable. That was my second game, and going to play the third game now, which ended up being a tier 5 game. So the map is Cliff, and I've come over to the left hand side. I think I overthought this a little bit too much. I got into my head that I must be a passive scout, and I don't normally come over here when I play Cliff, regardless of what side I start on. So I quickly realised that this spot is rubbish for passive scouting, and I decided I'm going to relocate somewhat quickly before the enemy team get settled. So I quickly push over. There's a decent amount of tanks down the bottom here, which is good. So my idea is to get into the little section at the base of the cliff just up here, directly in front of me now, where there's lots of foliage where I can hide. An enemy Panzer IV is pushed up to that little rock there, I think somewhat foolishly, and he dies. So this is a nice little spot here, and I'm going to resist the temptation to fire because I really won't penetrate anything. I see this AT2 pointing its gun at me. I'm thinking, okay. And then I realise that it's the Churchill he can see and not me. So the Churchill being directly behind me is very bad. So I push out the way, and I'm reversing back up just to shake off, just in case I have been spotted. Just basically get out of the way of the heavies. So they've all become despotted, so I'm going to try and respot them now. Move up to the bush, just wait a minute. There we go. And again the Churchill's directly behind me. I don't know whether he's doing that to use me as cover or whether he just doesn't realise, but if they see him, they shoot him, even if they don't see me they can still hit me if I'm in front of him. So I'll just get out of the way, let them to do their business. Being a tier 5 game, there's really not a lot I can do against any of these guys, even at this range. Even if I was facing tier 3 or 2 at this range, I probably wouldn't penetrate. As you can see from my indicator there, it's kind of green and red. There's no way that I'll be penetrating any of these guys, so I resist the temptation to fire. Not very exciting, unfortunately, but this map is a little bit bottlenecked. If I was playing on steppe, for instance, there'd be quite an opportunity for me to kind of nip in, nip out, maybe kill some artillery, keep moving, but here it's too bottlenecked for that, and they've got quite a few tanks left up here. And again the Churchill is kind of behind me. I'm in the line of fire, so again I back up. The game is pretty much in hand. It's what, 3-6 dead versus our 2 dead, so we're pushing up now. We're kind of squeezing them into the corner. I decided at this point that, you know what, my job here is done. The KV-1's pushing up, they're all going to support the KV-1, so I relocate. And that's pretty much it. This game doesn't actually get any more exciting, unfortunately. I just wanted to show you that the Panzer 1C can be very good as a passive scout in a tier 5 game. If I had the opportunity on a different map, I would have kind of got stuck into the sides and rear of the enemy tanks, but this map didn't really allow it. So that's pretty much it as far as it goes. We go on to win the game, and as you can see I got 15,000 silver, 589 experience from not firing a single shot, just by spotting. 26 damage was done through spotting. and as you can see, it actually worked out okay for me. Yeah, sure, it was premium, but it's not bad for not firing a single shot in the game. So that's pretty much it for the Panzer 1C from me. If you haven't had a go at it and you like the look of it, give it a go. It is actually quite good fun. The next tank up is the Luchs, which I have already, so I will be keeping this tank and just rolling around in it and having lots of fun. Really kind of fingers crossed that Wargaming don't nerf this tank somehow. I've just sort of checked out the forums and people are talking about how OP they think it is. And I don't know, it's too early for me to tell. I've only really played like 3 or 4 games in it, so I can't really say. But it is fun. I'm just hoping Wargaming don't touch it. Okay, that's it from me. Cheers, take care, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.